How's everybody doing tonight? Well, I got to show you guys this cool thing that I just built. It's a flat maker. Yoop. Slide her back. Slide her back. You can go either direction with it. And I've got a lot of other uses in mind for this thing. This was just the initial. I just built a frame, okay, and I furred it out with one extra. Well, I built this flat maker. This is a pretty exciting deal here. I know it looks dangerous. It looks more dangerous than it actually is. Because when you're cutting, when you're going to cut, you're just going to go stand right over here and you're going to run that cut. And see, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not perfectly square because this is a little bit worn out. I may crimp that down to make it tighter, but I mean, if you hold it real loose, it does make good square flat pieces. Now, this is helping me with any of my, let's see if that'll stay. No, it won't. This is helping me with any, now this is just an EVE 140C mocked up here because it is what it is. It's what I have for this. It's an extra saw. I'm going to put something bigger on here for this bar. But yeah, I mean, it's really wicked cool. It's great for tikis, end table type of deals. These are beautiful little stumps here. See our locust. It's old weathered locust, so it's really cool. And see, we're pretty good. I mean, we're within 1/8 of an inch on everything that I caught, which is, it's pretty dang good for all that slop that thing has. All I did was I built the frame, right, and I furred out an extra 2x4 so that the roundness of the log, got this little frame here. This frame isn't even really square. It doesn't have to be. It slides better if it's more square. But over in here, I screwed these in, and I screwed them in lightly just so it keeps that side plate, because that's where you're going to lose your angle when you're cutting if that slaps in. But most importantly, from here to here is where you hold your angle, and when that saw cuts, it's going to pull everything in. This is just an old lumber mate. You can see it's bent all to crap just from the years. This should be straighter. This is a cheapy one. I bought this years ago. I've had it for years. Now I got to buy a couple more. This is great for this application. It still works great for making flat, big flat boards, or slabs of wood, or big thick square blocks, as you've seen me do. Square blocks, I love having square blocks around. I find square blocks actually cure better. I said that in my other video, or if this is all part of the same video, probably not. I said that in another talk about milling and stuff. So yeah, this is, we'll give you a little demonstrator here. I just use a ratchet strap. I have grooves cut on either side of the pawls. I put the pawls up higher so that I don't keep hitting this frame. There's no reason to be this low and that wide. I'm not doing that big of stuff. Even bigger stuff, if I were to get it in here, I could fur out a whole bunch, and it would still sit on here pretty good after it was strapped down. I just get these cheap ratchet straps. They work really well. It doesn't have to be real fancy or nothing. I'm going to take the tape measure to it, just double check it. And this is what I love to do. I know it's kind of silly. So you're a carver. You can do cool carvings and stuff, yeah, but I like making stuff flat too. So 18 and a quarter. 18 and 3/16. I'm reading you right off of what I'm seeing. I'm going behind so I get a better read. And about 18 and 3/16, 18 and a quarter. Just a hair whisker over 18 and a quarter. Almost 18 and 3/8, about 18 and 5/16. Again, 18 and 5/16. So there's a little bit of wobble and play in it. Then again, it's not sitting on a perfectly flat table, but it's close all the way around. That's all you need. For me, that's all that I need. I'm super happy with that, super happy with the results. If I were, I took that flat maker yesterday. I flattened this guy out. And I think this is going to be a cool little tiki. Like it's going to be like a flower pot, but it's flat. It's a flat tiki. You can put stuff on that behind the feathers or leaves. That's probably going to be leaves. I got a lot of pieces with leaves in them. Of course, our shelves are getting bare again. Shelves are getting bare again. I'm moving a lot of stuff around. I don't have everything up here that I've had up here, but I'm working on green men, working on saws. There's another tiki. Got a drum set going together. Little drum kit here and there that I've been messing with. A lot of hobby stuff. A lot of just trying to enjoy my time, while I have time. Like I said, I work a job all week. See, I'm gonna flatten all these guys because this one is so far off. This one's so far crooked. Oh, there's like 16 and 5/8. There's like 16 and 3/4. That would be like 16 and 3/8. 16 and 3/8. 16 and 7/8 or 17. So this one's not super off, but it is cool that I can correct this. And what I want to do first, I want to gauge it in off of the bottom because I don't want to lose a lot of the bottom. So you bring the Flatmaker 2000 right up and over, right up in center. It's real easy. Always have the brake on when you do this, or unplug it, which I do. I do that instinctively. I don't always show it. All right, so, and to make this flat, we are going to cut the bottom, but this is just to gauge it in, get it close, make sure that when I strap it down, it's not going to move a whole lot. I can put these two wedges in. It can move a little bit, but I make a whole bunch of wedges, a whole collection of wedges. And you can feel when if you move it around a little bit. And it's not real precise, but it can be precise. The more time and money I were to spend on this, the more precise it would be. If I were to actually make a sliding pinion, sliding lever type of deal for the saw, like on rails, and it were all aluminum and clean or stainless steel and really tight and clean, then yeah, it'd be super precise. Now, there's a lot of easier ways to do this. You can do this using a big bandsaw too. Same deal. The problem with a bandsaw is you're gonna have that where the end of your slider is gonna not be able to be in the way. It's gonna have to be all this way, and you're gonna have to adjust this way. Your wood, you're gonna have to move the wood around as you slide it and adjust. So this is close. This is awful close. It's close enough that it's catching, but you see there's a gap back here that we want to get rid of. So we're going to trim all this bottom down. So we're going to trim all that bottom down. And just that little tiny bump is probably, it's just about too much. I only want it so I don't want to lose a lot of wood on here. I know, is it freaking you guys out to like for me to put my face near this? It's not going anywhere though. There's no way this could misfire or anything. They will not when the brake is locked on these newer saws. So I need at least this much because even here on the inside, I'm gonna get a bit of skipping. As that saw gets to one side, then it's gonna wanna bank out real hard. So now, and I'm gonna show you guys standing in the dangerous spot, so that you can see what the heck's going on. You see it's got a little play to it, but as soon as I start, I let it settle, let it ride, and I like to go real slow. Do you guys see that little spark? I hit a nail or a screw or something here. There was the tip of a nail or screw or something there. And it's not perfect. I can feel a little bit of round offness after I hit that thing that made the spark, but that's not a big issue. Because I cupped these out again, and you know, I recarve a lot of this stuff. I fix that, and I can take that little bit of oddness out of the bottom if I want to. I can always cut that base more flush, or do another flush cut on the base. I probably got to resharpen the saw now because I have been seeing a lot of sparks fly like that. So, and I see that with these locusts all the time because they have sand in them. They actually have sand and dirt in them. So the thing is, I went really slow here. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty flat. I can feel a little oddness back here, but that's not a big deal. You saw where the wood fell away here. It broke away. But I still had like little pieces holding the bar against the wood. If those little pieces had broke out, the bar would have, the chain would have done that and the bar would have flown that way, which meant I would have had to come in deeper again. So I try to take as little as possible, but I also need to consider I need at least like ½ an inch of wood left for the bar to bite into whenever I make a cut. Then sitting there measuring around, marking, trying to trust a pencil line or a Sharpie, which I can do. That's how I've always done this, is I sit there with a tape measure, I put them on a flat surface and I mark up and keep marking all the way around the thing. You can make flat stuff too, without having to have, you know, this fancy setup. But I tell you, it's a world of difference not worrying about it. This took me a couple hours to set up. It took me a Sunday afternoon of relaxing and, you know, going over everything and testing and moving it and just, you know, getting my head together on it. I like building stuff like this that works. And see, we're going to try it real thin. You see where the saw is on that kerf? That's right on the kerf. We're going to see if it doesn't blow out. This would be the good tester here. Yep, there it goes. You hear it? You see that? That's why you need enough meat to cut. Right there, you just saw it skipped over. That's why you need enough. It's pretty simple science. I mean, we've gone over this chain play. So I'm gonna leave like I'm gonna leave like an eighth of an inch of wood on that side and see how that holds up. And there you go. So there's about 14 and a quarter. 14 and a quarter. 14 and a quarter. Guess what? 14 and a quarter. There's about another, it's 14 and 3/16 to 14 and a quarter all the way around. Flip back here. But that's going to sand out. A lot of this stuff will sand out. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this piece now. If I have to, like with these two, I kind of had to in order to keep it going. I could narrow the whole entire mouth, but I like the twistedness of it. No, I'm not plugging this company or anything, but did you guys ever notice? Did you ever notice the collar in Wendy's shirt says Mom? M-O-M. You see that? It's been a good time. So we got the flat maker, right? We had fun with that. Went over all that stuff. Right, and if we look at the thickness here, gauged it in on an inch, there's 1 1/8. 1 1/16. 1 1/8. 1 1/8. 1 1/8, right? Relatively. 1 1/8. I mean, that's off by 1/16 of an inch, as far as I can tell. Unless you were to set that thing on a piece of glass, you'll never notice anyway. I can make tons of cookies. Alright guys, great talking to you. We'll see you again.